Well, this Sunday morning, we continued our sermon series on the book of Daniel, and we were looking at our ninth sermon, and we wanted to pause and contemplate Daniel, the servant of the living God. And so we wanted to look at him as an example of a spirit filled life. This is primarily coming from Daniel 6, verse 20, where Darius calls Daniel, servant of the living God, who serves God continually. Well, we first began our sermon by looking at the calling. And here we said God's people are all servants of the living God. This is our identity. And our calling then is to serve God continually. Like Daniel, we do this in all of life, including our ordinary daily jobs and duties. We're called to serve in a hostile context. This was our second point. Our context is we're to be in the world, but not of it. In Babylon, but not of it. And our calling isn't just for a couple years, but it's at every stage of life, whether young or old, like Daniel, whether 15 or 80 years old, he was the servant of the living God. And the key to being faithful in our calling is not primarily gifting, but character, being blameless before God by our loyalty to his word and through our life of prayer. And this love for God overflows then in love for neighbor. Like Daniel, we work diligently, skillfully, that is, doing our best, and faithfully. And so, like Daniel, his employer, Darius, loved him. He was valuable to Darius. And so we should, as much as possible, seek to build good working relationships with those around us. Well, why is our work so important? Titus 2, 9-10 gives us one reason. There it says, exhort bondservants to be obedient to their own masters, to be well-pleasing in all things, not answering back, not pilfering, but showing all good fidelity. Why? That they may adorn. That is, that they may clothe the doctrine of God our Savior in all things. And so our work ethic, our integrity, our cheerfulness, our diligence, these are the visible attire that makes first impressions to others about who our Savior is. When people see us and they're asking this question, does Christ actually make a difference in someone's life? Our character should say, yes, he does. Well, let me then leave you with two applications. First, focus on working as unto the Lord in your calling. You need to know this. As you go to work today or tomorrow, God is pleased with his children when they have done their best swinging a hammer or thinking through business solutions or changing diapers. Your day wasn't meaningless. It wasn't wasted, but it's purposeful as you live by faith as the servant of God. And second, then, pray for witnessing opportunities and take them when they come. Over time, if we are living with integrity, they will come. Not every day, but over the course of a year or two, these relationships will be built and there will be opportunities that arise. And so, like Daniel, we need to be ready to speak of our living God when God gives us the opportunity. Well, may God raise up another generation of Daniels, ordinary Christians who are faithful in their callings.